Okay, today we are going to look at least common multiple, also sometimes known as LCM or least common divisor. At times can also be something that it's called. Okay, so make sure you have out a piece of paper to work out the problems with me as we go. Alrighty, here we go. Here's our first problem. Find the least common multiple of 14 and 24. So we're going to use a similar strategy as we use to greatest common factor. Okay, so common numbers that I like to use to pull out would be 5, 10, 2, 3. Those are kind of my starting points as far as what numbers to use. So 24 and 14, they are both even. So therefore, I'm going to pull out a 2. So 14 divided by 2 would bring me to 7. 24 divided by 2 would bring me to 12. And then I'm left with 7 and 12. And 7 and 12 both have the same factor in common, which is 1. So rewrite 7 and 12. And when I do that, I get 1 and I'm done, is what we say in the business, so that we know we are going to end our problem. And now I'm going to multiply 2 times 7 times 12. And you might be asking, why didn't you use the 1, Mr. Hillesheim? Well, you know, anytime we multiply a number by 1, it's going to come out to be the exact same thing. So when I work through this problem, 2 times 7 is going to bring me to 14. And then I'm going to multiply 14 times 12. So 14 and 12, multiply that. So 3, add those up. 178 is my answer. Moving on to our second example. So now we have 18 and 30. So again, let me just write down my numbers that I want to use. 5 and 10 are my first ones. So 18 and 30. 5 and 10 do not go into those. Both of them are even, so I could use a 2. So 18 divided by 2 would bring me to 9. 30 divided by 2 would bring me to 15. And then I have 9 and 15. So 3 goes into both of them. They are not even. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 would bring me to 5. 3 and 5. 1 goes into both of those. So 1, and I'm done. And then I draw this nice little L around it. L stands for least common multiple. Right? So now I'm just going to multiply 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. All right, so 2 times 3 is going to bring me to 6. And then 3 times 5 is going to bring me to 15. So if I take 6 times 15, that is going to give me 90. So in this case, our LCM is 90. Moving on to our third example. So we have 50, 60, and 20. Now, here's what's a little bit different about this is LCM, I can only do 2 numbers at a time. Okay? So I'm going to use 5, 10, 2, and 3 as my starting point numbers. So I'm going to take out a 10 here first, just because both numbers end it with a 0. So that would leave me with a 5 and a 6. And then 5 and 6, 1, and I'm done. So now I have my L here. So 10 times 5 times 6, so 5 times 6 is 30, times 10 is 300. Now I'm going to take this answer of 300 and put it with my third number that has not been used. which is 20. So again, I'm going to pull out a 10, so that's going to get me 30 and 2. And then 30 and 2 have a 2 in common, so that's 15, and that's 1. And I know when I get down to this 1, that means I'm done. So I have my L there, so 10 times 2 times 15. So 10 times 2 is 20 times 15. If I multiply those together, I end up with 300 as my LCM, which in this case happened to be the exact same as that answer there, but it doesn't work out that way all the time. And we finally have arrived at our last example for the day. 3, 6, and 40 is what we are looking at. So again, 5, 10, 2, and 3. Those are my main numbers that I'm going to pull out. There's obviously more numbers that you can pull out, but it's just a good starting point that I like to start at. So if I take a look at 3 and 6, both of them, 3 goes into those. So that becomes a 1, and 6 divided by 3 is a 2. And I have my 1 here, so that tells me that I'm done. So now I'm going to take 3 times 2, which is going to give me 6. So I put the 6 over here, and then that's with my third number of 40. Okay, so now going off of that, I can pull out a 2 because they are both even. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 40 divided by 2 would bring me to 20. 3 and 20, sorry, that's a bad 20. Take out a 1, which means I am done. So I have the L, 2 times 3 times 20. So 6 times 20 is going to bring me to 120 as my least common multiple. Okay? All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to go back and watch the video and pause it where you need to. Bye.